Hey gang, Corky here, and I'm a little confused. If you look at the truck in front of us, you'd be inclined to think that it fits in well with the rest of the vehicles behind us. An ambulance, a smaller truck, a boring road car. But no, this is a racing vehicle for ETRC, or the European Truck Racing Championship. They do this in real life. This is a DAF-CF racing truck, and this mod for Assetto Corsa is actually officially done by ETRC, so it is accurate as all hell. These racing trucks are huge, heavy pieces of machinery. They have a speed limiter at, I believe, around 150 kilometers an hour, and they do actually race at the Nurburgring. Just the GP circuit, though, not the Nordschleife. So let's see what the hell is going to happen if we take this huge hunk of metal around the green hell. Putting it in first, going to get out of the pit lane and do our hot lap. I think the biggest thing here that I'm going to struggle with is just the huge visual disconnect. I can barely tell what the truck is doing. I have the feedback through the wheel, which really helps me, but I'm so high up that it's just really hard to discern where the truck is on the circuit, especially on something as narrow as the Nordschleife. Most of this run is likely going to be spent in third and fourth gear, maybe second. You basically never go down into first from what I understand. And I'm going to try and stick into third during this section. Now we're coming down to Flugplatz, just got to wait on the throttle and then it's up into fourth. Then we're going to be up to Flugplatz. And you can see here, 160 kilometers an hour, and it automatically modulates the throttle for me. So I'm pressing it all the way down, but it doesn't matter because my Assetto Corsa is registering it as being unpressed. Ooh, getting a little twitchy at the Flugplatz section, but that's okay. And then it's back to 160, and the limiter is off. Now, this is for safety reasons, and it does make the racing in these things a little interesting, because slipstream doesn't matter. Once you get it pressed a certain point, you're both going 160, and no one has any overspeed. All right, trading courts now. Just a small release, because we aren't really going that fast again. Ooh, locking our wheels. Oh, no, we went into second. Too low of a gear. We did manage to save that, but note to self, just keep it in third. We don't need to try and shift down a bunch of gears. Now, I will say, these trucks could never race at the Nordschleife, because they're simply too wide. The Nordschleife is narrower than most GP circuits and standard racing circuits, and there would simply be zero passing opportunities. I gotta say, it's a much slower lap than I'm used to. This is akin to the bus lap I did a while back. Also, I will say, Jimmy Broadbent has done this. There is very few cars in all of racing that Jimmy Broadbent has not put around the Nordschleife. And so, yes, this is not the most fully original thing, but I did have the idea before I saw the Broadbent video. Oh boy. Ooh, it's wall time. Okay. Now, it should be noted, I've done truck racing on this channel before. It's fun. Like, it's serious racing, make no mistake. But I don't think it's maybe the best choice to put it around the Nordschleife, which is why we're doing it here instead of real life. Yeah, I'm just unwinding the wheel before I get onto the throttle. Now, the thing I'm most curious about, as I'm sure you guys are as well, is how this thing is going to handle the carousel. My instincts say poorly. Oh boy, okay, that's not as bad as I was expecting it to be. I might try and get a third-person view of that if I save the replay, but like, wow, okay. That definitely wasn't pretty, but like, that was an okay carousel. Oh boy, oh, that was a save. See that, guys? Hire me to be a racing driver, please. This is my favorite corner. Can I nail it? No, I can't. I missed the curb on the inside there. These high-speed flowing sections of the Nordschleife flow a lot less when you don't have a high speed and when your car weighs like a ton, or a couple tons. And now it's up to the second carousel. Oh, there we go. A little oversteer on exit there. Probably could have gone down to third as well, but as those things go, not the worst. And now we're going to get to sit at 160 kilometers per hour. I'll see you all when I've reached the end of the Dottinger. On this downhill portion now, we're going to come to the start of the lap soon. This is going to be our push lap. Let's see what our out lap is in a moment. It's going to be down into third. Just really struggling to find any room to get the car around. Okay, it's going to be through here. Ooh, oversteering now. Okay. Our outlap was an 11:37. Let's see what we can do now. On a proper flyer. We can understeer, that's what. Okay, it's up to Flugplatz. I need to not screw it up like I did last time, because it got a little bit weird. We have just put in some purple sectors, so we are doing a lot better. And there you go, that's clean through Flugplatz. Okay, this is where we almost spun out. We're going to keep it in third, because we went into second last time. And there you go. I'm surprised we managed to clear the Yokohama Bridge. That's a bit like the Tin Can Opener Bridge, you know? Finally getting that curb right. There you go. And it's going to be down into third. We're just this bit through the foxhole. Can someone explain to me in the comments? I never understand. Is the foxhole this bit up top, or is it the compression down at the bottom of the hill? Regardless, actually doing that section pretty well. This has been all purple sectors thus far. My goal lap here is maybe sub 11:30, I think maybe could do. This is actually really fun. If you have a sim racing wheel, I will link the mods down below. Go try this out. Go try out these racing trucks in general, by the way, because they're really good fun. The Assetto Corsa AI don't fully know what to do with them, but like, if you put them all to 100, they can be kind of okay. Alright, I'm taking that as quick as I am brave enough to. And now it's for the slowest corner on the Nordschleife. Oh boy, okay, a lot of oversteer, but it's okay. We actually managed to just make it through there in one piece anyways. It's really just dancing between third and fourth gear. I don't think there's any situation where I'd be in second, because that seems to make the car drastically oversteer. Now, let's make sure we don't hit the wall like we did last time. There you go. Still a little Larry through that corner, but not nearly as bad as it was last time. We only have one gray sector up top there, which means we are putting in a much better time than our outlap. And I'm just braking for this. In normal race cars, I always forget this corner exists, but I have a lot of time to react to it in this, because there's not much top speed. It's a very dynamic and interesting thing to drive. Like, I think cars like this are the key to having fun in sim racing. Stuff that's a little different than your GT3s and things. Because here's the thing, I am the GT3 class's #1 fan. I love those things. But a lot of the times, in most racing cars, you end up with very similar, like, braking points, because they both have, like, very similar speed to braking ratios, whether it be a GT3 or GT4 or a hypercar. They all are kind of similar in the way that you drive them around a track. But this, because of the limiter and the weight and the way it brakes and the way it turns, it's completely different, and you have to completely rethink where you brake. Do you brake for certain corners? Some of them are flat out, and then some of them are not. And also, you only really have 2 gears, because even though there are 4 of them, you don't go down into the first 2 unless you're pulling out of the pits. Big oversteer. Alright, let's nail this carousel. There you go. There you go. Pulling it through, pulling it through. Just gotta make sure we don't oversteer to hell out of there. And there you go. We have made 0 mistakes thus far. The only other time we hit the wall was through this section. So let's use some of that momentum from this heavy object, like a boulder rolling down a mountain. Let's see if we can get some speed up. I don't know if I should go into third here. Oh, we missed the curb again. We're going to try and get the exit one, though. And we did. Making the most of the track and then some with a little bit of wheels on the grass. And now just getting into third for a small moment there. Might not have needed to, but it felt like we hadn't been third for a moment. Now we're just going to run wide. I would say majority of the time, you're in fourth gear. Ooh, big oversteer out of there. But again, these cars are very heavy, and that oddly makes them very stable. Like, they oversteer, and you can kind of just let the wheel pull itself, and it just corrects. They're not super snappy. They don't have downforce, of course, so they don't have snap oversteer. It's a very gentle, correctable kind of thing. Let's do our best here to not screw up any of these corners like we have repeatedly before. I think our tires are going to set fire soon if we keep driving on them, so this will be our last lap. And we're just doing our best to coax the truck through the rest of it. I've genuinely gotten a reference by now of where the truck is. So, like, this is on that curb on the left there. I can generally figure out, even though we're so high up, I've gotten a feeling of where it all goes. This is very fun. I am having a genuinely good time at the moment. And also, it's not like horrendously difficult. Like, I'm definitely underdriving a little bit. I'm sure you could push it more. Whenever you see me driving, you should always assume I'm underdriving because I'm a terrible driver. It's either that or overdriving. Ooh, okay. Speaking of, there's some oversteer for you. Almost going off track and invalidating the lap. We're okay. And then we're going to chill out as we head onto the Dottinger. There we go. No collisions, no off tracks. A couple wheels dipped onto the grass, but otherwise okay. And that is mostly purple all around. We have some gray bits on the sector board, but generally, we're okay. Past the Devil's Diner. Hello to all of the spectators. And now we're coming up to the last few corners. It's always a kind of a guessing game of where to brake. About now seems alright though. Might have shifted down a little too early, but otherwise okay. And it's just over some of these curves. Let the car breathe, get it back over to here. Let's try and get close to the wall without hitting it. Oversteer out of there. And it is a 9-minute 50. Wow. I did not realize it could go that quick. That's impressive. That's like an okay lap time. God damn. To answer the question, how fast can a racing truck lap the Nordschleife? The answer is 9 minutes, 50 seconds, and 640 milliseconds. With that, I will be off. Corky out.